that experience, I worked on past life, this life. I took energy from my children who are living now, that passed on to them. And at the end of it, I had this white light shoot through my third eye, fill out my whole body, and my frequency was like, and my teeth were chattering, and I felt love, 100% love. And I heard,
so from high to low to in to out, we find the eclipse of the titanium and the earth gathering as one, as we ripple the effects of the soul begging for mercy within the moonlight. Here lies the human being, an expression of all things. And with that, we take a deep breath in and we find ourselves in this now moment. And so, what would you consider channeling in of itself?
good question. It's evolving for me continually. And you used the word communion before when we were saying hi. To me, it is a communion. There's a whole bunch of trust and love, support, guidance, soul path work that is involved in this channeling that I do. So it's a relationship that I have with these beautiful beings called the Great Council of Light. One that presented itself and that I saw coming and worked to co-create with them to allow an advance into existence, which is here now and ever evolving. I have just recently started to own some of the things that they tell me about myself and them, because as I know, I don't know if you know this, son, this is all fairly new to me. It's been, the last several years that I've been doing this and then putting it out into the world as my work, as my soul's calling. And the council who I channel tell me I'm an aspect of them, that I have, been commissioned and worked with them together in union. I made a decision to come here now to do this work here and now at this specific time of planet Earth. So that's what channeling is for me. And with the channeling, the work, there's messages that come through when I channel. There's messages of love, of teachings of vibration and frequency, of love, and then of understanding, who you are as a soul, an energy being living this three-dimensional reality, and why you came here, and how to navigate it, how to understand it. They want to give us lessons to help us have more grace and ease with it, to know that we came here to evolve and understand love through experiences. So to me, sometimes when I share my story, people say, Pamela, I just love that you're still in awe of all of it. And I am. I am, because I'm expanding with it, just like everyone else who's having their shift right now. I'm showing my community members that I lead and the people that I work with that I'm diving into the unknown and the deep end constantly to experience and understand what it is that I'm supposed to do, So I'm like a witness to everyone. And the more I talk about my story, the more I share the messages of the Great Council, the more people want to connect because they resonate with it. They understand it. They're waking up to remembering who they are. And they're having this little ping or pull or knowing or something driving him to move forward, to learn more about something new, So that's a long answer to a question. But yeah, there's a frequency exchange that is a part of that as well. They're a super high frequency collective group of divine beings, and I am a three-dimensional physical earthling. And I had to work really hard to be able to connect to the frequency, number one, to be able to connect to that high frequency and work on my soul body, and then to work with my physical body. So it was a communion, a union, a transference of energy with the channeling. It's cool.
Yeah, I mean, what you experienced at the beginning of this incredible conversation is what we refer to as the rhapsody.
Yeah.
Where we take the power of the incantation, the poetic justice of the words, and we imbue them into the material state, which is what we're experiencing right now. This reverberation that you and I are in union of,
yeah,
is the very evidence of that. The oscillation of your body and mine as one is evidence of what some of my parapsychologist friends would refer to as PK touch. It's a psychokinetic experience. This is visceral, somatic, kinesthetic.
It
and
is
then
real.
the evidence goes beyond the words, but you have entry into that power. And nothing makes sense, but everything makes sense.
Right. That's within that trust and higher knowing. And, it's so, I love what you just said. Because we are the creators, the conductors of the reality that we have. We are creating it. We are orchestrating it. We are making it right now. I'm creating my future right now, right now, right now. Right. And, that's one of the lessons that they teach about, is that we are powerful creator beings. And so when we start to tap into that knowing and remembering of who we are and why we came here, and then how the universe conspires to give us everything that we desire, and that it is all there for us and available to us, and we are in deservership, if that's a word of it, you start to understand that orchestration, that magnificent piece that we're all, creating together as well as individually. So there's a lot, there's a lot to learn. And a lot of the people that I said before resonate with me are the brand new seekers, the scratchers, the ones who just had that little window of a new reality open up, and they want to, they want to break it open, dive in and swim around in it and learn more and experience more, have more conversations and more connections and all those things, because they never were taught that. We're not taught that.
Yeah, I love that. As I mentioned before, biologically, consciously been experiencing this stuff for a long time. Yet, it's like the first time I ever saw your face. And that is the childlike state that I remain
Yes.
in awe of the miracle, the manifestation, the magic. And if I had a penny for how many what people consider supernatural, which I couldn't consider supernormal experiences, I'd be a billionaire. But it takes that ability to be childlike, accept things at face value, absorb the now, which really is a combination within physics, which is another language, another distortion. I mean, we all have our own distortions, yet how does it capture your attention? This is what we call attention and intention.
I want to share something with you. I think it's absolutely so beautiful. It's a part of the August channeled message that I channeled for my community. And there's a piece of it that is exactly what you just said. I had to find it. So please excuse me for looking.
Yeah.
But they talk about that you're in control of your reality and your desired outcome. And there's this one part where you talked about the children and being like a child, right? They say the world may be falling down around you, the sky seeming to collapse into oblivion, and yet you, dear ones, will witness it with ease and know that you are in a calculated existence being presented to you for your awakening. Recall the child seeing the wonder of the sky and the beings that fly above them, A giant animal may stand before them with large teeth and big eyes, yet they gaze at it with curiosity, giggling and laughing, creating from within themselves the feeling of joy and awe. And that is, they're saying you're invited to choose that too, and you, like you said, have been doing this for a long time. So you have that experience. You had to understand that to be able to do it and to experience it. But people are not taught to do that. They're taught to look at their reality, and that is what creates their existence. They work from the outside in rather than the inside out. And all the systems and things that have been created for us to be stressed, to be occupied in our mind space, to be, worried and burdened and all those things. So you lose that child wonder-like ability, that wondrous, expansive view. But we're returning to that. We want to be that, like you said, and you are able to sit in that space because you've practiced it in the beginning, you understood it, and then you exist that way, right? So I thought that was beautiful to share a little lesson.
It was beautiful, and actually a complete opposite of that. I had a complete 180 or 360. I don't even know what you call
I do that too. I never know what you're going to say.
within a matter of 5 days. So,
Wow. Yeah.
at the age of 10, I focused on powerlifting and bodybuilding, and created a ridiculous PR level of awareness by the time I was 18.
Wow.
Changing the whole structure of my body because I felt into the tactile effects of that body into earth. Absolutely necessary for foundational point. But at the time, before I was reunited with my teacher, who I channel on a second-by-second basis, have for over 30 years, 36, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's all the same. Well, I love the humility that you have, but the truth is you've been doing this for 1,000,000 years. And all
Right.
you're doing is finding yourself, and it's powerful. But the contradiction of that was, at the age of 17, had a voice telling me to go and find meditation. And meditation to me was Hare Krishna, alfalfa sprouts, and hippies with hairy armpits. It just didn't work. In those days, that wasn't part of my collective consciousness. And I was like, you know what? My motto is always, I'll try anything once. And people go, whoa, you don't look like that type of guy. Oh, yeah. And so I went straight to find a meditation class, never done anything like it before, didn't have an expectation. There isn't the internet.
Yeah.
And what happened was I walked into this class, and after transmuting my body into what looked like a lotus position, but it was actually an overgrown ape scratching its ass, I sat there, or attempted to nurture the pain. And this 4-foot grandmaster captured my attention, and never before, because I nurtured my childhood as superhuman strength, to look through walls, look through bodies. At the age of 4, I started being able to do these things. I was looking for superpower.
Yeah.
The superhuman stuff. And I captured and stopped sound for over 20 minutes.
Wow.
And that was my in. I was like, oh.
Yeah. The moment.
What is this? And that, just by you and I picking up what we're putting down, you're oscillating like this beautiful bubbling effect of rainbow experience. And it's not Starburst. You're already absolutely insane right now.
Thank you.
This is just part of remembering. And from that, I witnessed the physical healing, gangrenous flesh going back to pink in color in 40 minutes.
Wow.
Started clairvoyance, instantly accessed being able to look inside people, instantly reading their information, doing distant healing, doing healing. It was instantaneous, with ending that 5-day experience with what someone would call a dark night of the soul for 7 days. Every thought, every feeling, every emotion was happening to me, because everywhere I could see information, I could see the information, the energy, experiencing it at will. And then by the 3rd day, I wanted to just jump off of it. a building because it was too much. And that wasn't metaphorically. That was like, I need to stop this. This
Yeah.
is. And so, you know, when you attempt to distract yourself and you go into movie theaters and throw up on people because something as benign as a naked woman is walking across the screen, that is a problem. And so you restructure everything. And so I always tell people, listen, you could be on a path training alchemy with me for, 3 months, a year, 2 years, it really doesn't matter. Or you could be instantaneously actualized the way it happened to me. I just use this information to help people get a foundation to create a method to the madness, which goes way beyond anything I was taught within the 2 monasteries or I was ordained in. This is like the real shit being taught by an immortal.
Right.
Refers to immortality crystallized within the material. Amen to that, my brothers and sisters. People are like, oh my goodness, I thought you were a Taoist priest, not Christian. I'm every kind of priest.
Everything there is.
I'm everything and nothing at the same time. And the power that you and I have right now is crazy. I love it. I just love it.
Well, people, thank you for saying that. When I share a container with people in my mastermind and I channel the council with them, people have these experiences, like their bodies get hot, their cheeks get red, they have to start unzipping their jackets. And I've been told this light just comes off of me and because I am them and they are me. They always say, Pamela, we are not a us and you, we are a we together, and it's I haven't been doing this for 30 years. I started my
longer than that.
Well, exactly. In this lifetime. Right.
Consciously.
Right. Exactly. But I also had, a longer journey than you, but I had profound experiences that kept me moving towards finding myself again, a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time, and a little bit at a time. And that is the journey that I signed up to have when I came for this lifetime, right? And to experience pain and to experience, something that my dad had to show up for me in a certain way to give me what I needed for that part of my life. And then he showed up to ignite my spiritual awakening journey before and when he died. And there are a series of those events, but stepping into that unknown and allowing that experience to happen. It's, I think, what I'm trying to teach people. There's a lot of fear everywhere, cascading everywhere we turn. That's what part of our reality is. And people have a level of fear of vibration within them. And the Great Council wants them to know that they, first of all, have a frequency, right? And then second of all, like, how do you raise your frequency in the basic way to bring it down to like a level 1 experience for someone who's just starting to understand, oh, I know what you mean, because they're just everyone is has blinders on. But seeing one of the profound experiences I had was I don't know. I was called to go to a Reiki. No, I was called to go to a Reiki share. I started with meditation too. I started with yoga actually, which is a form of meditation, and that allowed me to quiet my mind, to allow more to be able to be heard and understood, and to hear that guidance from my higher self and my guides and the universe. And I went to a Reiki share. There were like 6 people in the room. I don't know what told me to do this, but I was the last person to get up on the table. If I was the first person, everyone would have left the room and not done it. I was the last person. I got up on the table and all these people started working on me. I wasn't awake. I didn't have any spiritual life whatsoever. I actually shut it all down because I was raised in something that I didn't believe in anymore. And so I stopped everything, took my kids out of everything, and said, I don't know what to do, so I'll do nothing. And so I got up on the table, and these Reiki practitioners were all working on me at the same time, and the swelling and emotion and all this stuff just started coming, like shooting out of my heart chakra. I didn't know what was happening. I started howling and wailing, and that was the first experience, and then the next one was my throat chakra at another time. And a past life came through, and I was being hung, and I was foaming from the mouth. And then, it's like, oh, I want to learn more. Oh, that didn't happen before. What else is there? And like in the meantime, you're learning more, you're expanding more, you're experiencing more, you're having more connections, you're hearing more, and my Clare senses started to open, and I started having visions, started hearing, seeing, feeling, knowing. And one of the things was to go to this place in Costa Rica to do plant medicine. I didn't dabble in drugs. I wasn't really into any of that. And I didn't knowing I was going to go to this place. I didn't know how, I didn't know when, didn't know how I was going to pay for it, but I knew this was a place and I didn't have to figure it out. Spirit picked me up, put me handheld, put me into this super high conscious group, small group of people. And I went to this place. And in that experience, I worked on past life, this life. I took energy from my children who are living now, that passed on to them. And at the end of it, I had this white light shoot through my third eye, fill up my whole body, and my frequency was like, and my teeth were chattering, and I felt love, 100% love. And I heard, your psychic abilities have enhanced. Everything from this moment forward will be different. And that's what happened. I came home from that, and I had this knowing that I was just supposed to sit every morning in surrender and collaboration with no fear, to honor whatever this was, and to co-create or whatever it was with an open heart, to say, I want more. Let's do this. Let's do this together. Not really understanding all of it, sound like, so that's that trust, that mm, that exists, that we have fear that holds us back, that we must move forward through. We must move forward through the fear, because the fear is, we never win when we choose fear over love. There's only two choices ever. And so you get to choose, you get to finally get to the love after you choose a fear. Something like, you just do. And yeah, so my journey was longer, and it's still longer. I'm still working through fear to do what I am supposed to do, what I am commissioned to do, and what I am doing. Right? Yeah.
That's beautiful. I mean, it is a real observation when you come to the the base plate.
Yeah.
Where your exploration of the fringe benefits of your finite mind and personality are no longer a consumption.
Yeah.
And you are an arbiter of change and not a harper of the same, by evoking that, across that middle line and absorbing what we would consider conscious and unconscious. This is really what we refer to as the mother, which is a unified primordial state. We refer to that as the Wu-Ji, where you are now able to access everything at once. You're all things and nothing at the same time.
Yeah.
You are contracting and expanding, which is what we call the bellows. The bellows effect is the base of reality, and that's how you know you're in that center point. Your mission, if you choose to accept it, Ethan Hunt, is to find that center point, step into it, and dissolve into everything. Because then you realize you are all things and nothing. And that's where you access things. That's where everything goes from impermanent to permanent. Permanent is your eternal immortal self. You are forever, forever.
Yeah.
But you have to recognize that from a metaphysics, Taoist metaphysics level. We start with the mother, which is basically, she animates consciousness. Consciousness animates spirit. Spirit animates energy. Energy animates the body. And most people just get stuck in the energy in the body, and they in what I call the spiritual baby shit. And it goes back and forth over and over again, never actualizing their spirit and having dominion, imperium, and maestro over this fabric we call the fabric of perfection, which is the tapestry of all things. You're accessing the Fajin, which is the substance. This is the substance that you and I are playing in right now. When I move my hands and I move this around and your body starts to oscillate, this is because we're in it right now. Oh, yeah. Can you dig it? And that power doesn't end or begin at this experience. But the more and more you're able to hold that resonance, real, recognize real, the evidence is the proof in the pudding, because the attention intention is actualizing what we call the spirit, Shengon, which is spirit projection. Now you are able to create from this substance we call the currency, energy potential. Energy is vibratory, frequential, and ultimately holds resonance. That resonance is really, once you obtain that, oh yes, it will be yours. Oh yes, it will enter into equal to or greater than, and it will be yours. Oh yes, it will.
Yeah.
And that feeling charge you and I just got right now is like a hell yeah. And your body just like expands. It starts to burn my eyelids.
Oh my gosh, I can feel it right now. It's just
I won't look away.
out.
I won't look away. Most people will because you're so bright. But
You
evidence.
feel that right now? It's
I feel it. I see it. I see it and feel it all. It's like this is the part of the experience. It's like developing sensory perception. But your auric field has the evidence of all these things, everything from white and black stallions circling around your body to levels of elements, specifically gold, silver, and platinum, that are emanating from your auric field. And so that power is just what you cannot fake it till you make it. So when you develop sensory perception, these are the types of things that you can see. And so all the bullshit in the world cannot replicate a level of evolution of ascended states, transcending, ascending at once, because it comes out in the field.
Damn.
Amen to that. Oh yeah.
It's crazy. This doesn't happen on podcasts.
Yeah. Well, everyone always reminds me, you're as dumb as rocks, but Latsu tends to make you look kind of like you're here, you're happening. I'm not doing anything. I am the spiritual janitor that keeps things going, but it's a resonance that we hold.
It's so cool.
What we're doing is we're unifying. All my students are experiencing this as we speak, and we're seeing it. You are one potent mofo, my friend.
I know.
And this power is evident when you equal that. And that's what we're experiencing, because your people are meeting my people, and we're coming together. We're making a spiritual, unified baby of consciousness right now. That's what's
very cool. It's very cool.
And real recognize real.
Yeah. You know what? It's so cool, though. I have to tell you. Somebody, not that I care what anybody says. I really don't. That's part of the lesson of understanding what I'm doing now, but people, the thing is, I choose to do this. I don't have to do this. I choose to do this because I am called to do it. And there's so many people that don't understand this, and they say you're faking it, or you're, all the things. And I feel sad for them, because they just they don't get it. And that's part of my soul journey right now, is to move through all of that and to understand what that picture looks like and all those things. And so to hear that from you and to actually just have that experience was pretty cool for me.
Well, this is what happens, right? Because for me, in this expression of what we call the symbiotic dance within the yin and yang, is this stream. And this is what we're experiencing right now. From duality to non-duality, to centrist to non-centrist, we are as one. And so you can use all the terminology, all the nonsense.
Yeah, right.
If you're thinking you're not knowing, if you're knowing, you are feeling. And that's where we're getting down. That charge you're getting right now, we are oscillating, baby. And this is the power, because I'm a Pepsi challenge guy from the 80s. I'll take the Pepsi taste test with anybody. Show me. That's really what it comes down to. All the bullshit in the world, I will show you a visceral, kinesthetic, somatic experience that is beyond words and beyond your logic. And you just go, what the? Because that's how it works. This is when you truly are experiencing magic on planet Earth. We refer to it as heaven on earth.
Yeah.
This is immortality right now. It's happening. and you are a ambassador,
Yeah.
a concierge, just like myself, bringing this stuff to the now, which is really the combination of everything. And physics wants to split hairs. You're in the future, in your past. You're not now. You're not anything. Thank you very much for that, big brain on Brad. The reality is, you think about an alchemical process, and that's where the method to the madness is so important for people. And that's why people cannot ever experience anything more powerful than Taoist alchemy. And you're like, that's a tall order. Stop talking your nonsense, because you're actualizing things and you have a foundation. Most people bypass what we call spiritually bypass the foundational piece. So people will accelerate and recognize their Brahman, their cosmic consciousness. They are all things. Like, I got it. I already got the memo. And then they watch their experience and their superpowers diminish on a second by second basis. And they're 3-5 years in, and they're like, I'm just this stooge that sits in the corner of the room transmitting shit. And I'm like, what happened to witnessing healings and expressing? I don't know. It just disappeared. Oh, that's why you're here. Well, let's recognize that never, ever, ever use your own shit. This is what happens when people get all caught up. They get caught up because the constitution we call the Jing is being emanated. They don't recognize that they are beyond that, but they still have this process of the finite mind going, I am human. I am going to die. I am mortal. I am limited. No, you are immortal. You are eternal. You are forever, forever. And then when that starts to actualize in the flesh, you start commandeering the 50 trillion cells you call your flesh and blood that looks back at you in the mirror, and you go, hell yeah. All of a sudden that starts to create foundation. So many people, I mean, listen, as I said, once again, I'm not going to be a broken record. Yeah, Jifu, I know, I got the story. I know you've been doing this. You witness it. Most people don't make 40 to 60.
Right.
Between 40 and 60, most of the healers crash and burn and die because they're not embodying an emanated state,
Right.
which is what happens to you, right? For me, it's a transmission. And of hundreds of channelers that I know, the real deal, maybe 50 or 60, it happens the same way. It comes down from above. It saturates the body. It's a full body, like, orgasm that you are experiencing right now. And you can't stop it. You will emanate heat. You will emanate cold. You will emanate everything that is part of the collective of this material state. And then it goes beyond the body. So your initiation as an initiate is crystallizing. It's crystallizing that, because you're crystallizing your body, my friend. And so when we do channeling, old school channelers like me, dusty old channeler, I will put a knife to my flesh when I'm channeling Letsu. It won't cut the body. I'll put a flame to my flesh. It won't burn the body, because you are immortalized. And this is what's coming out of you. When you're sharing this wisdom teaching with all your community, this is the real deal. This is what's really happening. And it comes out in a form that will mimic the energy fluidity. So your body will move like that. Your expressions will be like that.
Yeah.
The people that are the haters are the ones that are being met, what we call meeting the eye maker.
Correct.
Because you have to hold that resonance. They can't hold the resonance.
No.
All their shit comes up like a turd floating in a bowl.
Yes.
They are going, holy crap. You. It's like, I'm here to help. Take my hand if you want to live. It comes out that way. It's like you're doing everything that you can to help them remember. And that's the abrasive obstruct that they're having when they see you. It's like they're going to love you, hate you. It's all right.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Yeah. That's what I've learned recently. This year of 2025 has been a profound year of change, as they have said it would be. So, and more to come, which is what this ride is all about, And I just stepped, son, into a whole new way of working with people. I never aspired to, I didn't know I was going to do channeling, let alone healing people. It's interesting. I never even knew I was going to do that at the turn of this year. And I'm stepping into this way of helping people heal. So, and their past deceased loved ones are coming into these sessions, and the council comes in and says, you must recede. You're not to interfere with this work. And I'm like, I'm watching it all happen, and I'm a part of it, and I'm healing wombs and past life trauma, this life trauma. I'm setting the stage for new life that's coming, and it's amazing. It's incredible, you know. And they're saying to me, which they have said, this isn't even it, kid. Like, this is just the beginning. Like, this is nothing compared to what it is that you're going to do. And I'm like, okay, you know, I'm in for it. I mean, I'll dive into the space with you, and I'm in acceptance, and I'm here. I'm here. It's funny you said cold and hot, because cold has been happening now. Cold and hot. It's really interesting. This is not what I expected today. So this is an awesome conversation.
Well, if your council ever gets curious, they want some more answers for you on the now moment, we can sit down and have a private convo. I'm more than happy to share, because it just gives you insight. Remember, there are no coincidences. We didn't just meet.
Correct.
We didn't just meet because you looked at me and went, my goodness, he looks like Brad Pitt. I want to have a conversation.
I love his beard.
That's right. For me, it comes right back to my boy Freddie. Here we are.
Are you going to sing?
Born to be kings. We are the masters of the universe. I took a little license there. I'm not a prince. I'm a master. But, you know, this is the truth.
Yeah.
This is the reality, and this is how it works. And when you experience it, it's serendipitous, it's synchronistic. This is what we call wu wei, which is effortless action, effortless effort. You are holding that resonance, which is the mother, which is the actualizing of your immortal, eternal self. And that means you have access to everything within the material state at will. Yeah. That's the truth. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, baby. What you don't know about me is that I break out in song all the time too. So you're doing what I would naturally do.
What a coincidence! What another coincidence!
Yeah.
What another coincidence! You couldn't make this stuff up.
No, you know, I was in a David Bowie tribute band for 10 years, singing all kinds of fun stuff. Yeah. So singing is my natural thing that I love to do. But that's just being in the moment, right?
Well, David Bowie is one of my boys. Very sad moment for me. Just like George Michael and Prince, and man, the list goes on. I get I have to sit and live that, express that. I need to own that pain for a moment, even if it's a fleeting moment. Actualizes your true self. It opens the heart. It makes you one. And that kind of thing is all part of the journey, yet a little bit too overcooked by some.
Yeah.
And not enough for many is that realization. So, you know, I'm not so consumed by, you know, if grandma didn't give you 5 cookies when you were 3, that is energy. It's energy, frequency, vibration. And so when people understand this, you create your past, your future, your present right now. And when you start to harness that substance, oh yeah, baby. Now we are off to the races. Now there is just no limit to what is real. And I love your counsel. What you're speaking of, you know, Latsu always, he's such a cheeky little bastard, Latsu. Because when he speaks, he's just like, listen, it's overrated. Whatever you're experiencing is just another emanated reverberation
Yeah.
The sun meeting the earth, actualizing the rainbow, that spectrum that is realized, that is your vivid realization of all things, that there is nothing but color, there's nothing but beauty, there's nothing but perfection everywhere you look. And so when people go, "Oh wow, what's going on, Jafu?" Lao Tzu's answer is this: imagine you're like a grain of sand, asking the beach, "What are we doing today?" Fall back into the beach and be realized. I'm like, I can't make this shit up. And you know, this is really what's going on. Just like all the teaching that comes from you as the catalyst and conduit,
Mhm.
happening every day, and people are like, "Holy crap!"
Yeah. And
Hit me with your best shot.
darn
Hit
it, darn it.
deep, right? Deep, because it's an imbued state that is from a perfection to the distorted state. That's why it's captured people's attention.
Mhm.
Holy crap! I don't know what the hell she just said, but I need it now.
Yeah.
And
It's
then if they sit back and listen, they go, "This is so profound. I couldn't find this in the Bible. This shit is so crazy."
it's not even like you said, it's kind of crazy. It's the story. It's just when I talk, it's not even if I'm talking about the council, people, there's a transmission that's coming through. And people are like, Pamela, I didn't even know how I signed up. My finger was moving and something did it and signed me up for this program. And I'm like, yeah, because you weren't in, like, it was a higher, effort there. I've had that experience happen myself where you're not even doing the choosing and the signing up. It's just happening. And I don't know why, Pamela, I needed to reach out to you. Do you know how many times I hear that on all my platforms, messages? I just needed to connect with you. I just needed to say hi. I just needed to share. And they just want to be heard. They just want that frequency. They're attracted to the frequency and the message and the transmission.
Mm. Well, you hit people, you T-bone them.
Yeah.
People are like, "What are you talking about, Jifu? I mean, everything is a paradox that blows my mind." Yes, that's right. Let's start with something simple. You know, it's like you look at this stuff and it is really your over consumption of your personality, which is a fringe benefit, an external state. It doesn't come from you.
Right.
That means your participation is not required.
Right.
What? Yeah. Your participation is not required. To remember who you are, the default is playing in the background,
Right.
looping itself. You just
Mhm.
have to actualize it like your Sherlock to your Watson. Elementary, my dear Watson. From human condition through the labyrinth of the finite mind, you discover the human beingness, which you're all things. You know, and we talk about this, and we're both having this incredible union, communion, this dance of like one rippling, reverberating,
Yeah.
like oscillation through the whole body because it's speaking the
Right.
language. Oh yeah.
It hasn't stopped the whole time.
Yeah, oh no. I'm like what some of my students, they call me, "Stop aura dipping." Just I'm like, listen, the truth is it's happening all the time.
Yeah.
And you can deny the fact that you are me, I am you, or you can get with the programming and realize that we are one.
Right.
Power is there. And what you're experiencing today is you're meeting the equal
Frequency.
resonance that you've
Yeah.
ever met before. Now you're like,
Right.
whoa,
Yeah, totally.
holy moly. Now it's like I get to experience what everyone else is experiencing when I am the vessel.
Right.
It's like,
Right.
holy crap, this is what you need. This
Yeah.
is necessary. It's like, remember, this is the most powerful thing that you can do is to be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And you're helping not just hundreds, not just thousands,
I know.
but the millions of people that we are all collectively moving towards. This is raising that bar where you become. How do you know whether you've arrived? Well,
Yeah.
Jeff, what? How do I know? Well, it comes down to your selflessness and servitude will be something you cannot fight.
No.
Just is. It will just be. And that's part of the foundations and the alchemy that you put into the structure, because people bypass the body. And so the
Yeah.
lower energy fields, which you refer to as chakras, these are referred to as dantians, which is called energy elixir field for a Taoist, is fortified. You must fortify that, or you will fall on the sword. Imminent mortality is nigh. And that's the part that people freak out about. It's like, well, listen, you can be the identity. I am the healer. I am the Reiki master. I am the Qigong master. I am the psychic, the medium, the channel. Understand that to harness that, you must be able to hold it. That comes from the body.
Yeah.
Or you will just, as I've, for hundreds, I would probably close to say 1,000 or more transition people from their deathbed to their new reality. This is part of it.
Yeah.
It's like you have to condition yourself.
Yeah. That's what's happening now as we get closer and closer to, yeah, I don't know how much you know about me or what I've been sharing, but, I have a very specific role, not one that many others have. And that's what they've told me. And, it is. There's someone that just came to me to start working with me who's an anchor. The guide says she's an anchor. She's holding a tremendous amount of frequency. When this shift, there's going to be an event or something, is what they're telling me, to help anchor this energy, this shift. And I'm like, okay, so I'm working with her to help her anchor energy. And I'm like, from the very first message they gave me was such a big message that they told me it's like a salt shaker falls. That's how many people are going to be in my community connected to their message. Like, it's infinite. Like, it's like you just said, millions. And in the beginning, I couldn't accept it. It was such a hard humankind, what, but I've seen the evidence of everything before me from that moment till today, till whenever it continues to move forward, happen. It's amazing.
And here we get to the distraction for a new generation of seekers.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the distraction? I find this always funny, because even if it was meeting youngins, because even in my 20s and 30s, on a deep path of a priest in the alchemy and just witnessing miracles on a second by second basis, I was still bodybuilding. And most people would be like, dude, I'll have whatever he's having. And that was part of the journey. But I get a lot of the youngins coming up to me like,
Mm-hmm.
Little road runners, a group of them, the Partridge Family, that all, what do I have to do to look like that? And most of these kids, they want to bypass. They want to go straight to the roids. They do the roids, they do the PEDs, and they crash and burn. And they're just a memory. And it happens quite often because they don't understand what it takes to maintain that level of strength or hold a resonance.
Mm-hmm.
And so today, right now, it's sleep paralysis and psychonautic experiences. These are all fantastic entry levels, but recognize this is an external cursor.
Mm-hmm.
It's not your internal ability. I teach people to have a DMT experience for weeks on end.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm having one right now. I'm talking to you. I'm in the stars.
Mm-hmm.
I'm playing with the surface of the moon. I'm feeling the sun heat my physical body like I'm in a sauna. These are all things that are happening to me right now. This is what would be considered astral projection, or, oh, you've gone beyond the veil, or this is an exhibit of an OBE. The problem is they can never experience it through the body. They want to escape their body. Where are you running to? What the are you doing? You're going to lose the most precious thing you have on earth, which is heaven-based, that is given to you as immortal, is this flesh and blood. and you're running away from it. You need to find something else. This is a delusion. And so, I find it interesting. We refer to this as Shen Gong, where you can be everywhere at once, and you internalize that with Ni Gong, which is the internal power, through Ni Dan, which is the internal alchemy. And all this becomes actualized, just like I'm doing right now. And I don't look like I'm 3 cents short of $1. Shout out to Crockett and Tubbs. I left my groceries at the meat market, one of my favorites from the 80s. Got to love that Miami Vice. So, this is the part where the delusion comes in. And so use these external forces to create an experience, but recognize if you can't hold that note and you cannot continue to cultivate it, the evidence will be in the body. The evidence will be the diminished return, and ultimately dust to dust, ashes to ashes, you will return to the earth. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you have been tricked by the trickster, and you don't need to be. This is the delusion, and a lot of these people are really being fueled by people that are talking bullshit about, I went beyond the veil, and this is the system, and it's 12 levels. Once you exit this material state, all bets are off. And people are like, well, what does that mean? It means that whatever you create, whatever you are generated of being gravitated to, is what will be your creation. It doesn't begin and end with the soul contract and all this kind of stuff. That is a subject experience for the individual. And there may be millions of people that have that, but that's not the entirety, the whole enchilada, and everyone has their own experience that is subjective. The absolute only comes from you. And anyone that gives you an absolute, run in the other direction, because that is a diminished return. What are your thoughts on that?
I agree. I find a lot of times I think that people, I don't want to judge anybody, but I feel like a lot of spiritualists may put things into boxes and into intelligent thinking, and they're limiting themselves. They're not in an expansive mode and understanding all of that. And it's really very simple. The guides have told me it's very simple. Like it's not complicated like everyone makes it. And they have check boxes and programs and all these things, these labels, these three-dimensional ways of organizing, putting them into systems. And it's not that way. It's very, very simple, like you just said. And I agree with everything you just said. We are the creators. So it is individual. It is completely. When someone says how many levels of dimensions there are, I think it's so interesting.
It's unlimited. It's like you're abundant, timeless, endless, limitless, infinite.
Right.
You are the master creator, master keeper, creator of all things.
Right. That's my experience, and that's what I've been taught or have understood. So to me, it's more simplistic, but complicated at the same time. Like you said, we're nothing but everything at the same time.
Right. Well, for me, I can summarize someone's mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual state inside of 20 seconds. And people go, what the? And like, hang on, I didn't have to slow my body down to imminent death and then project myself out into what we call beyond the veil. I'm sorry, I'm just going to speak on bullshit, because guess what? Bullshit is bullshit. This is my personality. I like driving my side-by-side in the desert at 100 miles an hour. I eat chocolate bonbons. And unfortunately, I contribute to that shit thing called Netflix. But guess what? When I witness miracles, manifestation, healing, that happens in what we call the Wu Chi, which is the now moment that doesn't require my participation. And I see that on a daily. And that's the mastered state of being realized that you don't want to erase your personality. That's a gift.
Right.
But you need to be able to remember and hold your resonance. And that is where things get down when they get down. And you witness it. It is an alteration of the material state that we are in. That is the master state. Everyone wants to go out. Understanding that going out is going in. But again, it's so limited because the so-called evidence that they have is no evidence at all. It's just another experience of, you know, you know, ground control to Major,
Major Tom.
right? And
We're
so this is all good, and you get the trashing of it, like I am right now. But then, if you want to experience it, I have no problems giving you something that will actualize within the same minute of the same hour of the same day, not a 40, hour, 3 month conditioning, because this is where you're fighting your finite mind instead of realizing you can get there right at this second. And it just comes from a conditioning. Why? Because this shit has been around for millions of years for a Taoist alchemist. So use a method that actually works, whatever it is. Doesn't matter what it is. Find your own way up the mountain, but you'll resonate with something that will show you evidence because you're
Yes.
experiencer. The experiencer is that moment. Experiential moment is all you have.
Yep.
Just say it.
I agree with you.
Without judgment.
Without judgment. Right.
But that's the part where people can't handle it. It's like, are you a spiritual shit disturber? No. If you have shit within you, it's going to come to the surface. And my so-called knowing beyond knowing or wisdom will seem like arrogance and some type of level of too much of a goody two-shoes in relation to how you perceive reality. That's okay. You're meeting a resonance. You can't help it. And this is what you find. You're like, how do people trash me? I'm just truly like, my inhibitions are gone. I'm literally like sharing every part of myself and beyond that in front of a camera. And people are like, oh my goodness, that's not really what's going on. Or,
that was a kind that
I mean, people are just meeting this resistance.
Yeah.
I love the haters. Please come.
That's
come,
what I've learned this year.
come
Yeah.
as you are. Yeah. I love it. And a
Yeah.
lot of people are very fragile. And part of your rite of passage is healing yourself from
It
that.
is.
And,
Absolutely.
there's this dagger and vicious sort of behavior. It'll disappear.
Yeah. Yeah.
I look forward to it. I remember I got sidetracked by one person, only one podcast. And it was an hour and a half podcast that turned into, she trimmed it down to 18 minutes. And on top of it, she went, hey, he's going to give you the answers to the pyramid and everything else. And they played it, and they're like, what the is this guy? This guy is just full of crap. He's this and that. I got like 100 comments, all haters, which is really most of the people that are walking this path have got so much stuff that they can't contain it. And they're really the cuckold in the corner of the room witnessing a tribe of midgets that are creating some sexual act on someone they want to be involved with. This is the mindset that needs to be transferred, because instead of being a beta, be an alpha. Recognize you are the creator of your reality. Oh, that's too much for me. That sounds very, very masculine. It's whatever you are masculine, you are feminine. Recognize that no one else is going to create your reality but you. And so people get caught in the trappings, and then they realize they end up like Steve Jobs. By the way, not a nice guy. Met him quite a few times through other clients, and he's an asshole. But all bullshit aside, his last words were, "Oh, it's much brighter than I thought it was." It took you going through all this stuff to recognize that, and then pretending to be a Buddhist or whatever he was on. But all that emanated through the body, so it showed itself through the organs. You can only harbor that for so long unless you are continually in this fluidity. Anyway, was that Tourette's? It was Tourette's. Don't worry. It had nothing to do with anything. I wasn't really speaking my mind.
Yes, I think I like when you speak your mind. It's interesting to listen to you, and I'm sure that everyone else enjoys it as well.
Well, what happens is you can experience the visceral, somatic experience and go, this is beyond words. And then he gets into his personality. How can he have access to both? I had so many people over the years who are like, you just were the facilitator of a miracle where you watched a gash close before your very eyes, or bones fuse, or tumors disappear. This is a daily. grandma wakes up out of a coma where a doctor gives her less than 24 hours to live. Welcome to my world. This is what I love to experience. Yet you can have such personality. I mean, because within Taoism, we call this, if you act in virtue, you have none. It's all
Right.
bullshit. All of this stuff is bullshit. You need to recognize this is it. And so whether I say bullshit, whether I am saying tomato or tomato, the resonance will precede itself. It
Yes.
goes beyond the reputation. It goes beyond all things. And so instead of crafting yourself into something where people, whenever you use an F-bomb, an S-bomb, or you're more animated, you see how many people cringe. And this is their shit that they need to recognize, because
Yeah.
that is consuming them physically. And
Mhm.
their need for control is where it comes down. It's like, I need to control you. This is the way I need it to be. You're really offending me by your language. It's like, no, you're missing the fundamental point of liberating yourself. And it
Mhm.
doesn't come from finite perspectives of the personality. Enjoy it. You want to be cynical and sour and all the rest of it, you can tune into Pamela's experience right now and make sure that you are just allowing. That's it. And even the skeptics, they're the ones that get the biggest boost. They
Mm.
get adrenaline rush where they go, holy crap. I was like, this is not going to happen to me. Oh my goodness, I just sat there for 5 minutes and my whole body is shaking. And all she did was bring her counsel in, or whoever the hell they are. And I can't contain my body. It's been upgraded or something. My body has changed. And your answer should always be mine is the same. You're welcome.
Yeah. Yeah. I have my beloved is very, 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 very grounded. Lots of masculine energy. And he, I was calling one in that I thought I needed all the things that I needed, but I didn't know I needed what he had. And, universe put us together. I had nothing to do with it. And that's what he says. Like, he says the same thing, and I had to learn that this year. I had to experience that. And I had to have a really challenging experience with that in the very beginning of the year. And I suffered for a weekend because I'm just a very sensitive, empathic musician, artist kind of personality. And I came out of that like a fucking champ, I was like fucking different person after that. I was a different person, and I don't care. It's this lead magnet that they put out is, or sorry, trigger or whatever it's called. I don't know what it's called. Bait. They put this bait thing out. It's been live for months. It's like it gets waves and it goes live, and it's been triggering for months and months and months, for months and months, literally. It's January, so it's August. Isn't that interesting? So yeah, it is
Was it a
doing
podcast?
what it's supposed to do. It was a podcast, little bait thing, little segment of me
Which
channeling.
podcast? Which
Sean
podcast?
Kelly Digital Social Hour.
Sean's a homie of mine. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's an interesting cat. I don't
yeah.
know.
He invited me, and I went.
Yeah.
And so he told me, because that weekend I was like, I said, he was texting me back and forth, and I said I didn't understand that had, like, I knew I was going into a circus. Like, I knew they were not spiritual people. Like, I knew that spirit wanted me there, universe wanted me there, and I went. I flew out to Las Vegas and I did it. Never been to Las Vegas before, and had an experience.
Representing.
I
You
had an
want
experience there. Yeah, talk about a triggering place to be in. Whoa, that was interesting.
Well, you see, it would have been for both of you. You see, because
Yeah,
he's always had a relationship with me, and I've been on his podcast a couple of times. But
yeah.
when we get down with the get down, he's like, "Oh, I gotta go. I'll be right back." So for you to just go and channel, it's
Mhm.
kind of like him going, "Screw these people.
Yeah,
I want to experience this."
yeah,
So it
and I
was like,
knew that.
yeah,
Yeah, I knew that. They told me he's awakening online. He's awakening in front of his audience, and he is. And I channeled a message for him. But, he told me, he's like, "Pamela, you can't look at that." He was kind. He was very kind. he messaged me to make sure I was okay and everything. And he also created a video and said, listen, guys, I recorded 3 episodes in the morning. I blow out the system when I go in person. I've only ever been in a podcast in person twice, and each time it's done something to the system where they'd have to
Yeah.
reset it because the energy is so strong. And that happened to him too. So I think he did like 3 or 4 before me, and then 9 after me. And he got on and he made a video and he said, listen, we had problems with monitors before and after, or before and nothing, no problems before and nothing after. It was Pamela. It was the energy in the room. And but the whole point is I was a different person after that, being subject to that experience. I had to go through that experience, and that's why I had to go there, to go through that experience so that I would love my haters, and I would be a different person after.
Yeah.
And I know more of that is coming too, son. Like I know more of that is coming.
This is what I call
Bring it.
sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me.
Right.
And I had that on my whole journey as a child.
Yeah.
People beating on me because I had an articulate sort of way of eviscerating them. They're like, but you just took 3 kicks to the head by 3 of us. We spat on you, we pissed on you, and then you get up and you go, is that all you got?
Ooh.
And by the way, let's add 3 or 4 like adjectives that you're going to need a thesaurus. You're going to have to go 5 states away from to define what that word really means. Get back to me when you know what it means. It'll be like 3
Damn.
weeks later, and these kids will walk back and punch me right in the face and go, don't ever call me that again. It took you that long to find that word. Wow. Woo. In the end, all of those kids fell to the mortality and the consumption of, diminished returns.
Yeah.
You do reunions and you go back and you're like, oh my goodness, half of them are dead.
Yeah.
They didn't make it. They just burnt out. And this is part of the journey, is recognizing that. And I have this conversation whenever I come across JC. It'll be like, hey, brother, so, you did the whole sacrifice yourself for the sins, and then you came back. I experienced that through my mortal path. And then I'm like, and when experiencing that, he was just like, this is part of the cycle of showing people evidence. And I'm like, yeah, well, the second I recognized who I really was, and then my teacher bringing it forth, then all of a sudden, bring on the miracles, bring them on. And it's just a daily, it has been for over 30 years. You see it every day, in and out, all day long. And this is the journey that we're on.
Yeah. It's so cool. I'm happy to have met you. Yeah, this was a cool exchange. And
we will be in touch.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is exciting. I'm going to put your intersphere and social
okay
podcast.
All the things.
Right. And so in closing, what is your definition of spiritual consciousness?
Oh gosh, a spiritual consciousness, I don't know, being the master of frequency and understanding you're a powerful creator. I don't know. I don't do good with on the spot Q&As.
400 plus podcasts, never got the same answer. You say tomato, I say tomato. It's all
tomato.
Gravy, baby. Tomato. It's all gravy, because we're both facets of the same diamond.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. This was a really interesting experience, because I felt the frequency like the whole freaking time. And I've never had that with this kind of experience before. So that was really cool. It was really, really cool.
Yeah, because real recognize real.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Baby.
Just part of it. All right, my dear friend, I want to thank you for coming on the podcast. I'm very grateful for you.
You're welcome.
Remembering our own bond.
Yeah.
Back lifetimes. We need to get into that if you want to at some point. Yay.
Totally. Yes, I do. Yes,
Yeah.
and yes. And
Yeah.
thank you for having me. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was
You
wonderful.
know,
I appreciate it very much.
been a real pleasure. And with that, I'm going to thank you. I'm going to thank the universe for bringing you into my life. I'm going to thank the audience for sharing their time with us today. And I am your humble servant and Sifu, Taoist Master San Qing. And I'll see you in the next one.